Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. Man, am I happy. I'm happy. My CEO, she's smart, man. I mean, she's forgotten more than most people know in the annuity industry. She's yelling at me. She's saying, Stan, come on, focus. You're so excited. I don't know why you're so excited. Here's why I'm excited. There was an article in Retirement Income Journal, which is published, it's online. Go on there, go to Retirement Income Journal, pull it up. My friend Kerry Pector is the editor. He does some great work. He did an article on index annuities that is setting the industry on fire. That's fire if you're from the South, but fire! And we're going to talk about that after this. All right, I'm back. So my CEO said, now you can do the guitar solo like Eddie Van Halen. If you don't know what Eddie Van Halen is, he just died. He's a great guitar player. I'm into music. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be a rock star. Right? Okay, so here's what we're talking about. The Retirement Income Journal, Kerry Pector did a great article on index annuities. He did a deep dive into the actual returns of an index annuity. And in the open, I'm like, it set the annuity industry on fire. And the reason it did is because index annuities are overhyped, oversold, overpromised, bad chicken dinner seminar, good steak dinner seminar, too good to be true, pie in the sky, unicorn chasing the butterflies. All the time, people are like, well, you can get market upside with no downside. You can get upside of the market with principal protection. Okay, think logically. Come on, lean in. If that was true, then Miss Yellen, right? I'd fly in, I'd meet with Miss Yellen, we'd have a cup of coffee, and I'd say, just buy index annuities, that solves the whole problem. But it doesn't work like that. And the article that Kerry Pector put out on Retirement Income Journal looked at the historical returns. Now, it's been fun watching the industry's head blow off because the realistic return realities and facts doesn't line up with the sales pitches that are out there currently, which is this market upside with no downside. And disclaimer, love index annuities, sell more than most on the planet, love them for their efficient delivery system for income rider guarantees, and we also sell them for accumulation, but only if your head is in reality. You're not thinking, well, I'm going to get 8% a year every year, and this is going to be great. No, it's not. What Kerry found, and he did all the research, was the returns of index annuities are a little bit less than 4%. Sound eerily familiar? If you've watched any of Stan the Annuity Man YouTube videos, I have said from the start 2 to 4% index annuities. Now, can you get higher some years? Absolutely you can. But the blended return, meaning that if you hold it for 10 years, what's my return annually on average for those 10 years? That's when reality comes into play. Get a call the other day, and the guy was interested in index annuity just for accumulation. I said, fine. We've done our research on that. If you want to see what we currently are recommending from an accumulation value standpoint, we will show you that. And I've done a zillion with a Z videos on index annuities. You can go to the playlist on this YouTube channel, and you can watch them all. Get the popcorn and get the Cheetos and get the Mountain Dew and just watch them all. But this gentleman was like, well, I was told by this other agency, and I'm like, stop. Anytime you do that with me, I will not allow you to tell me what the other agent said, because normally it makes my blood pressure go up and everything goes crazy because it's just crap. And this was crap. This person had told this gentleman, well, if you look at the back-tested returns on this, you're going to get anywhere from 7 to 9% annually for the lifetime. Bull crap. And if someone says that, have them sign off on it, meaning that if it doesn't return that, then they give you your money back. That agent will never sign that. But the guy's like, he kind of walked into it and said, okay, let's look at the cap. Let's just say the cap was, caps, spreads, participation rates are the limitations on the upside. So let's just say the cap was 7, all right? And so the first year, markets went crazy and you got 7. He goes, yeah, that's what he said. I'm like, how about second year you get, 0. Market goes down. Okay, you don't lose any money. So you got 7 one year, 0 the second year, and let's just say, for math purposes, the third year you get 5, right? So 7, 0, 5. That's 12 divided by 3 is 4% returned on average, right? Nod your head. That's easy math. That's in essence how you need to look at indexed annuities. I laugh every time I see back-tested numbers, like when they show, well, if you'd owned it 10 years ago, this is what would have happened. Well, first of all, that's crap. In some states, that's illegal, and it should be illegal in all 50 states because that's crazy to look back like that, period. I mean, different time frame, different pricing models, different interest rates. Do not allow anyone to show those back-tested numbers like that. Please don't do that. But what this gentleman did, and he was from Texas, and I love that because he had the same southern drawl that I did. So we were speaking, we were in fuego, man. We were on fire because all our southern accents were like putting this soup of facts together. But he kind of walked into it, and he goes, oh, okay, I see it. It's like in that scenario, it's a 4% return. Yes. Good friend of mine that does, and I won't tell you his name because he's on all my podcasts, on the Fun with Annuities podcast. If you haven't seen Fun with Annuities podcast, I digress, but you need to. And I call him Mr. FIAX, and the reason we do that is because he doesn't want to give up his name. But what he says is there's never been a time that, during that 10-year time period, you're not going to have a couple of 0% returns in there. That's what he says. He's right. So don't just get stuck on the, well, if the planets align themselves, I'm going to get this return. Well, let's just say the planets did align themselves for 1 year and you get that return. You're not going to get it year after year after year after year after year. You can't be that stupid. You can't be the dumb person in the room, okay? So when Carrie wrote this article, the industry went crazy because you can't do that. How did you do the research? How did you look at that? And there's all kinds of arguments that are going on right now about this article, but I think Carrie did a service to the consumer. Screw the industry for a second. Love those people. But screw them right now because they're fighting for the sales pitch. And Carrie and I are fighting for reality. And reality is if you go into an indexed annuity purchase and understand that potential return is a 2 to 4% return with full downside protection and the fact that index gain, if you get one, is locked in permanently, then you're going to be a happy camper. Period. You are. But if you go into that policy thinking you're going to get market returns, you're not going to be happy. Period. All right, what's fun to watch right now, and I feel like, in the Roman times, I'm sitting up in the Colosseum and people are feeding me grapes, and I'm watching the industry down in the pit fight over this article and say, well, that's not true. Well, he didn't do it the right way. Carrie didn't figure it out like this. He should have done like this. Let's get on the industry side for a minute. Maybe they have a little bit of an argument, maybe. And maybe this is a way for the industry to look at showing returns. Now, I think the really good thing that Carrie has done here, high five, Carrie, right there. Hope he's watching. By the way, he's been on my podcast. He's a great guy, smart. I think what he's done is ripped the scab off this and said, hey, as an industry, can we start showing historical numbers on the returns for indexed annuities, fixed index annuities? Now, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent licensed in all 50 states. If I was asked and I was Annuities are, which I should be, but let's just say hypothetically I am asked, how would you look at putting together an ongoing study and returns, historical returns of index annuities? Here's how I think it probably should be done, and I've given this a lot of thought as I'm flying around the country speaking to everyone about annuities. This is how I would do it. With indexed annuities, there's 3 primary levers to limit the upside of your returns. There's caps, there's spreads, and there's called participation rates, okay? Now, I've done other videos going into deep dive and going into the soup of all that. I encourage you to watch those, but we're not going to get into the weeds of that. What I'm going to recommend the industry do is let's run historical rates of return on specific caps. Here's the historical rates for caps. Here's the historical rates for spreads. Here's the historical rates for participation rates. Here's the historical rates for index annuities that use 1 or 2, like cap with a spread or spread with a participation rate, whatever the combination is. Okay? These are complex products. I always say if you can't explain it to a 9-year-old, you probably shouldn't buy it. Index annuities are a little bit They can be a little bit convoluted. Of course, I'm the annuity whisperer, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent. I can explain it to you so you can fully understand it so you can make a good decision on your terms and your time frame. But what the fixed index annuity industry should do, as an industry, to help the consumer understand and make a better buying decision, I don't see any downside in this, is to, if the argument is, well, you just can't say indexed annuity returns were less than 4% because we got all these things and all these levers and all these choices and all these all these machinations available. Well, if that's your argument in the annuity industry, which is a good one, then let's provide that to the consumer. It's a consumer product. There's 10,000 baby boomers hitting age 65 every single day. Shouldn't we provide that type of industry transparency on one of the most controversial and hottest products on the planet right now, indexed annuities? Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? And maybe Kerry's working on that. I've lobbed a call into him, and I'm expecting him to call back. And I'm going to tell him that. Why don't we as an industry pool our money, if we have to, and provide those returns on specific index types, on specific cap spreads, participations, however that is chopped up, so that when a person says, well, I'm interested in this XYZ indexed annuity, and I'm interested in this version that just has a cap, we need to be able to show that consumer, okay, you're choosing that one with a cap, all right? Here's what the historical rates of return have been on that. Duh. Hello, annuities are. Hello. That would solve a lot of problems and shoot down, all those sales pitches. That was like a really bad, shotgun. Shoot all those sales pitches down. But you know what I mean. I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, index annuities are great. They're not too good to be true, but they can be pretty good if you understand them. So do me a favor. Go to my site at theannuityman.com. Click at the top left-hand corner, click Book a Call. 97.4% of the time, it always changes, always give different. You're going to get me, and we're going to talk about index annuities, and I'm going to show you our current recommendations, whether it's for an income rider attached or for accumulation, and we're going to shoot it straight, and I'm going to tell you what I believe those historical rates of return are. As for the industry, I hope you're watching. Call me. Hey, do me a favor, click the subscribe button. I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video.